So what we're going to do is try to keep you from your food coma, which always inevitably happens after lunch, which is why you're not just going to sit there and listen to me, because then you fall asleep as well. So you may have heard me say earlier, we are going to talk about our hackathon, our Challenge LA, and we're actually going to show off the innovation. The teams are going to get up and present, and everybody is going to get a chance to vote. So just a real quick little information here about our hackathon and about the different things that we've been doing. If you've never seen a challenge, if you've never seen a hackathon, in essence, it's a whole bunch of people in a room, kind of what you can see right there. And they're all a lot smarter than me because they can code, they can create things, and basically they work all night on coming up with these different ideas, taking the SDL code, taking the vehicle data that's available, bringing in their own APIs, connecting everything together, and coming up with a really cool product. So there's all kinds of little pieces of hardware, things that you haven't seen before, things you maybe didn't know have existed before. We've got emulators. We've got what we call it forward a TDK, which is a test bench unit. Sometimes we actually bring in vehicles and let people play around in a vehicle. But if you can't get that onto the second floor, it's kind of hard to do that, like where we were last night. So these guys came in yesterday at 10 a.m., had a master class to learn how to start doing some coding, and you can see some of the different examples here. And then they're off on their own. Some people bring in teams, some people form teams while they're there. Every once in a while we have celebrities that stop by, and that's Bill Ford if you didn't know what celebrity I was talking about. Well, I might have meant Don Butler. You know, it could be Don as well. He's very popular as well. And these guys, you know, they come up, and guys and girls, excuse me, they come up with all kinds of cool things and new ways to make your life easier, to do what SDL is purported to do. The whole reason that we are here, the whole reason that we do all of these cool things. And most importantly to them is they get to hang out and play video games and eat pizza. And then at the end of it, hopefully we give them some prizes. So this is some shots from our hackathon last year. It was the very first SDL hackathon that we've held, and we had a very good turnout last year. We increased our numbers this year, and we've got 10 teams that are going to be presenting today, which is very exciting, very cool to see. The growth in the consortium is being backed up by the growth in our developer interest and our participation. So we want to thank everybody that came out and participated in the hackathon, and definitely wish everybody luck. The grand prize today, as you can see there, is going to be $5,000 cash. Well, $5,000 oversized check that you can cash. And what we're doing this year is we are bringing the audience into this. We want you to be involved. So we've got a panel of esteemed judges up here to my right. Yeah, no, I was talking about you. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to let you guys vote and let the judges vote, and we're going to combine those, and the total is going to be determining the winner this year. So there's going to be 6 questions for every team, and throughout their presentation and then up for about 30 seconds after their presentation, everybody here will be able to go and vote. And on the small screen up here, you can see the URL to go vote. So it'll be bit.ly/SDLteam1, and then you'll have to re-enter for Team 2. We're going to leave that up there the entire time, by the way. But for each team, you'll have to go to the URL and go into that site, and all 10 questions will be there. Choose your one, or all 6 questions will be there. Choose your 1 through 10 and submit. And then your judges or your votes are going to be combined with the judges' votes, and that's how we're going to score. So we ask that if you're going to participate, and we want everybody to participate, please vote for each team. We don't want to skew it one way or another and only vote for one team. Maybe put in a bunch of ones or a bunch of tens, depending on how you like it. Be honest, but please do vote for every single team so that we can have a good representation. Quick example. If we were to have 3 judges and our audience was scoring really high and was very, very beneficial to our teams, we would combine those scores and we'll tell you who wins. So In addition to the $5,000, we're going to be handing out a prize for third place, and the third place prize is a pair of tickets for each of the team members to go up to Burbank to the iHeartRadio Theater and check out an artist of their choice. Second prize, each team member up to 4 is going to receive a SurfacePro 4 with the keyboard cover that comes with it. And as I said last night, I apologize. We will be sending those because they didn't make it all the way to LA. They didn't make it any further than the swag room in Building 3 in Dearborn, Michigan. And of course, what everybody likes, $5,000 cash. So again, here's the URLs. Keep them coming. Each team, again, is going to have 5 minutes. Each team, when you get up here, there is a 5-minute counter in between the confidence monitors here that you don't want to fall off the stage when you're looking at. At the end of 5, the audience gets to start throwing stuff at you. So you want to be done. We have all of the hookups here. We've got everybody. We've got Kevin here to help. We've also got TJ here to help. We've got our hookups. You'll have, it's about 30 seconds, 45. You don't have to race to get hooked up, but get hooked up. We'll start the timer at 5 minutes, and then you're off and running. Judges, if you want to ask a question or two at the very end, we can do that as well. And then we'll just swap into the next team and make sure that everybody's voted. And at the end, we'll tabulate and we'll hand out some awards. Sound good? All right, do we have team number 1 here? Autodoc, we've been looking for you. Is that Autodoc? No? You're just standing up because you really, oh. Team 2? Oh, well then you guys are getting even closer. So, Autodoc, we will wait and put you towards the end. So, we are actually going to start off with Team 2. So please go to bit.ly.com/SDL Team 2. We don't want to mess up the order because, well, then I'll get blamed again. So Team 2, come on up. And we've got a couple of microphones for you as well, so you guys can explain everything without having to yell. Makes it much nicer.
No audio, correct?
No audio. I'll turn it off for sure.
Oh, hi.
Testing.
We should be good. Go ahead and log in. We're okay?
Okay. There. Hi, I'm Emily Lamb, and this is CarPay, an in-vehicle commerce buying en route. So, the problem is that every year congestion costs Americans over $101 billion, and every state has close to $1 billion in toll road violation fines that are growing. So, it costs a lot of time and money and safety. For example, you have a lot of traffic delays. It impacts productivity. And everyone in the audience has been stuck in traffic, I'm sure. So raise your hand if you know what the frustration is like. All right. So the solution to that is CarPay. So imagine you're going through the toll roads and you want to pay, but then your chip malfunctions. You can't pay with your credit card. You have to pull out cash. But oh wait, where's your wallet? It's all the way in the passenger seat, so you can't get to it. It's a hassle. So what you do is that you pay in your dashboard using the SDL technology. Fast forward. So it saves time, and it's a new way to pay. It's innovative, and it's also convenient for the driver because you don't ever have to stop and take out your credit card, or if you forget your credit card, you can still pay, which is the innovative aspect of our solution. So 82% of millennials surveyed said they would shop more during their commute if voice-activated technology was available. Like imagine you're in your car and you need to get gas. So what do? You use your smartphone, but it's distracting. You don't want to drive and have to press buttons. You just want to be able to talk to the dashboard and say, take me to the nearest gas station. And then you just go to the gas station and you just pay in the car without ever having to use your hands, take your hands off the wheel, or do anything. It's a seamless and innovative solution. So over $212 billion is spent by 135 million commuters on coffee, food, gas, groceries, and parking every year. Continue. With CarPay, it's an in-vehicle commerce solution. It eliminates delays, errors, and even possible suspension and jail time. Do you want to know why? Because if you don't pay a toll fine, then it's considered a felony. So with CarPay, if you pay in your car, you never have to worry about going online to pay it after the fact. Or if you forget about it, or if you move to a new address and the mail isn't forwarded, then you're out of luck without CarPay. So now we have George McKinney demoing the product.
Hi, everyone. So what we have here is our dashboard for the, when you launch CarPlay, it has the sync wallet that allows you to configure your Visa card or your PayPal card or something like that. And the first case we're going to go through is the express lane. So in the express lane, we're going to go from like Long Beach to LA down to where we are now. And we've got geofences around, say, these points. So when you drive into it, then you're able to, next slide, get a notification that says, hey, you're about to approach this carpool lane. Do you want to pay? It says, yes, that's what I want to do. So you go accept. And then as you're leaving the express lane, says, okay, now you're about to pay. So now go to the next screen.
Voice activated.
Yeah, and this also can be voice activated. And then it says, okay, now you know that you've paid because there's a confirmation of charge $3.50 for this segment of road. The next use case that we have is parking faster. So if you go into a parking lot, the next screen shows the geofence that's around. And using the app link or the smart device link, we're reading the GPS data from the device, from the car, from the vehicle. And so when you enter these areas, then the next prompt comes up, says, hey, you're entering the garage, do you want to pay this amount? And it says, oh, yes, sure. And then you go to the next one. So then you confirmation of what you owe in the next screen. And then we can also do a vehicle purchase history as well, doing a record of all of the things that's coming up for you. And we have a couple other modes that could be useful, the drive-in movie or a drive-through. So the drive-through, the next slide, says you're going through this drive-through, next slide, and there's your In-N-Out burger, you accept the charge and go. Yeah, so that's CarPlay. I hope you enjoyed it and you'll use it in the nearest future. Yeah.
Any questions from any of the judges? You're not a judge. What's a drive-in?
Yeah, drive-in theater, yeah. Oh.
It still exists.
All right, thank you very much. And we will have Team 3, which is Team Car Work. And again, remember to go to bit.ly.com/SDLTeam3 to move on to our next entrance.
I'll run up here.
audio on this? No, sir. It's all
Good afternoon. What's up, party people? Yeah. We are Car Work, and we want you to arrive prepared. This is our team. The amazing Hannah Zulueta, who learned Swift overnight to bring us this app. Yours truly, John On. We have web dev extraordinaire Felix Young, and the wonderful UX designer, Miss Nicole Chang. So let's take a quick poll. How many of us have forgotten the name of someone we've already met? Say aye. Yes. How many of us have gotten on stage to give a presentation and completely blanked? Say aye. Aye. Embarrassing, right? There's a saying for that. It's called, "You didn't do your homework." Now, Car Work gives you a second chance to arrive prepared. Prepared to meet people, prepared to just know stuff, and prepared to give your next speech. Let's take a quick look. And I want to take this chance to reiterate how amazing Hannah was for learning Swift overnight. So if you're looking for a capable developer, holler. Thank you. I also want to show you, we just have a quick, we got a mobile app too. If you want to take a look at it, please come up to us afterwards. We're happy to show you. So version 2.0 of our app will have full voice recognition and text-to-speech, because we don't want drivers looking at the screen while they're driving. We want all of you to get home safe. So let's take a look at our networking feature first. When you click networking, the app will look into your calendar, pull all your event data, and it will, whether it's Meetup or Eventbrite, and it'll find a list of confirmed attendees, and make API calls to LinkedIn or wherever, and find names, pictures, titles, companies of who will be there. So let's see, today we're going to go to Mobile World Congress America. When I see this mug, I know that's Felix Young, CTO of FY Incorporated, and I'll be able to tell the vehicle, next person please. When I see her, what's her name? Hannah what? Hannah Zulueta, amazing programmer. So next person please. Who's this handsome devil? What's this doing here? Let's move on. Next, let's take a look at our words feature. This is based on index cards. What are those called? Flashcards. Proven, time-tested to help you memorize and retain new information. Version 2.1, we're going to port in AnkiWeb, which is a service. It's got a proven algorithm to help you learn from flashcards faster. So let's take a look. You can load and build any kind of deck that you want. If you're cultured, you might be learning new languages. If you're just a schmo like me, you're going to go to miscellaneous. Let's see what's in that deck. 2 plus 2. This one always gets me. So you think, when you have a response, I guess, and I could tell it, tell me the answer, please. 4. So close. Maybe next time. Let's moving on, because you all know how flashcards work. Let's take a look at the speech. Any user can upload their outline of key bullet points or even your entire speech. And while you're driving in your car, oh, by the way, average person spends about 100 minutes on the road every day. So you got 100 minutes every day to practice your speech, to receive it, to internalize it, memorize it, make it yours. So let's take a look at some of the speeches I've uploaded. Today, let's say I'm preparing for my MWC keynote. Let's click that. I uploaded bullet points, and the app will read line by line, point by point, so I can sit and listen and internalize it as I'm driving. Of course, version 2.2, since it will be fully, it'll have full voice recognition, we're going to let people speak to the car, and it'll record.
You see me coming.
Yeah.
See me coming.
You can rubber duck, pseudocode. That way it'll just remember everything that you told it. When you get back to the office, just download it, and it's yours to start working. Thank you all for your time. We are Team CarWork.
Any questions from the judges? No? All right. Get your votes in, everybody. Thank you very much, Team CarWork. That was 3. And we are now going to have team number 4, Gas Pirates. Again, bit.ly.com/SDL team 4.
Sorry. We have. Yeah, let me display.
So as I was preparing for this presentation, I thought maybe I ought to come up with a creative story or a joke or something. And I looked at our team name. Figured with Gas Pirates, I don't have to.
What the heck is going on here? Unplug the display. Let's do that. I think that was causing a problem. Where did the... Oh, there it is. Good. Come on. It won't be on screen yet. Yeah, you're good. We're good?
Today? If you want, you can just hold the laptop facing out that way. That'd be all right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. How's that, everybody? Good to go? Nice.
I'm going to try one more thing.
Interpretive dance, TJ.
Let's try this one.
In case you were wondering, this is not coming out of their 5 minutes.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Although we do need the clock reset.
Yeah, I don't want to start with 0. I can talk fast, but
Yeah, can
not
you
that
swap Your
fast.
screens.
What do I want to do? I want to do... no, that's shit. That's... You know, how about we do just that?
Let me do something real quick.
There we go. Oh, come on. All right. Hey, that clock is ticking, man. I don't like that. There we go. Nice. All right. All right, hi, everyone. My name is Ron Felice, and I am one of the members of Gas Pirates. I am the least talented member. The other talented folks that supported me, their names are here. They are sitting in the second row. Please feel free to call them out for not being up here with me. Don't you hate when your team leaves you up on stage all by yourself while they're sitting out there being comfortable? Or perhaps you're in a strange new place. For example, the moon. It's the first time you've been to the moon. And you know you gassed up before you left, but what you didn't count on was needing to fuel up before you headed home. So now you're in this strange new place, and you have no idea where to fuel up. So what do you do? Well, this is a problem that we've all experienced. If you've ever traveled to a new city or place and you need fuel, you don't know where to go. Now, we do know that we need fuel when that little low fuel indicator comes on our dashboard, right? But we felt that we needed to do something a little bit more proactive and be very helpful in the process. And so what we did was we took at SDL and the vehicle data that we could derive from that, and we were able to pull things like the fuel level consumption rate, the GPS coordinates, the speed, and then we computed a distance to empty. And then we took that information and we looked for fuel stations that were within range, but also in the direction of our travel, right? So it doesn't do me any good if I have to turn around and go back and find something, right? So in this way, I'll know where I can get the fuel, But I'll also integrate crime data into this so I can tell whether or not it's going to be an area that's safe for me to travel to as well. Come on, next slide. So I may have to talk even faster. It's not moving. Of course, it'll probably catch up, and now it'll be at the very end of the presentation. I'll say thank you. Have a great day. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. You might have Christian Byrne.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Okay, so the solution that we did, as I mentioned, we used SDL to get the vehicle data. That's very important for this, right? But we also realized that voice is the interface for mobility, right? Without voice, we're not going to be able to achieve the things that we can with it in play. And so we're going to take voice input from the user, but first we're going to start by looking at that vehicle data and saying, hey, you know what, you're going to need some gas if you plan on making it home. And I'm going to go and find some places. And so we'll then do a search of the map from your current location out to the extent of the range that you can safely travel. We'll identify the fuel stations that are available, and then we're going to match that against your profile, because we're going to see where you go to fill up and get fuel for your vehicle. And we will try to match you with a safe location that you would prefer to frequent. And then we're going to provide you with a screen that shows you the fuel stations. We're going to show the one that you prefer first. We're also going to show a safety rating for each of those fuel stations. That way, you can look very easily and see an icon that says, this is green. I know that that's safe. This is yellow. Maybe not quite as safe, but maybe it's really close. And the thing that's important to me today is I just want to jump off the expressway, get my gas and jump back on. Or I see a high safety risk and say, you know what? I'm feeling like living dangerously today. I'm going to that place. And if I get shot at, I can practice all of my maneuvers like ducking and rolling. So once the screen is displayed, we can also provide you with the auditory feedback and say, here are the results we found. We know that you prefer station A. And so we've provided that for you. Tell us which one you'd like, or touch the button on the screen. And then we would then route you to that station where you could fuel. So that's the solution for gas pirates. In a sense, gas pirates are treasure hunters, and finding a quality fuel station in a safe area is truly a treasure.
And an amazing job winging it without the slides, man. That's awesome. Good job. Any questions from the judges? Any questions from the guys who wouldn't get up on stage with them?
You did great.
There you go. All right.
Thank you.
Great job. That was Team 4, Gas Pirates. And now we're going to welcome Team 5 in Telematics Solo. Solo as in one person, or solo as in solo cup?
I got a couple ones going. Solo as in me, and solo as in...
Han Solo?
Maybe a Star Wars reference.
Ah. Yeah, see, I'm old. I just remember the original ones. I don't know any of these new ones. Yeah, I remember that. But we didn't have to name them after him then. We just called them Star Wars. And don't forget, bit.ly.com/SDL Team 5. Team 5.
Good day, everyone. My team, as suggested, is in Telematics Solo, so I work for Telematics. I'm solo. I'm just one guy, as the text suggests. If you haven't logged on, I'm SDL Team 5. Just prepare all your 10s. So my problem is about learner drivers and about logging a certain amount of supervised drive hours. It's a little different from state to state here in America, but where I come from in Melbourne, in the state of Victoria, you have to actually log 120 hours of supervised driving, and each drive has to be logged with a variety of information. This is a sample up here. There are 31 data points that you have to put in manually for each drive. The problem is there's too much information to capture there. And what happens is people end up just fudging it. And when this goes get reviewed for you to actually sit your test to be able to drive solo, it gets rejected because they know you fudged it, and then you have to go back and do it again and that sort of thing. The other thing it leads to with people fudging it is that you're not really training competent drivers, and then these people become a danger to others. So there's got to be a better way of logging this supervised hours so that it's more automated and less manual and a bit less of a pain. So I've come up with Logbook, which is an SDL app and mobile app. Upon pairing with the head unit, you can start a new drive, and once you start a new drive, it can grab most of that information. You'll see on the next slide about 67% of the data just from last night automatically without having to manually enter each time. The advantages of this is it's going to be consistent across all drivers, it's going to be accurate, and there's a few extra downstream advantages which I'll get to in a minute. So this is just what I'm pulling from actual SDL. So I'm using the odometer, ambient light sensor, headlamp status, GPS, and the vehicle information to basically tell whether or not, are you driving at night? Are you driving in the day? Is it wet weather? Is it dry weather? I haven't got the wiper status up there, but that's another one we're using. The odometer just measures when you started your trip, when you finished your trip, so how long did you drive for, that sort of thing. And now I'll play this video. So what I'm basically showing here is the handset app. So on the first page is a bit of a summary of how far you are. You can view a log of your previous drives. You can view who your supervisors are. So it could be your dad, your mum, or a neighbour, or a drive instructor. On the SDL app itself, and I might just slow down, you can actually go back and view some previous drives here. They don't do anything at the moment, but you could click into it and maybe see a brief summary of that drive. Also within the app, you can view your supervisors. You can click one, maybe edit them, delete them, whatnot. Actually starting a drive is where the sort of key components come in here. And this is me setting up a little bit of a simulation. And you can see the odometer and GPS readings there. So basically you start a new drive, you choose who's sitting next to you, away you go. It'll grab everything off the device and populate as much as it can. And then as you're driving along, the display will just update with your distance, but there's no reason why you couldn't show any other information there down the track. But as I drag this along, you'll see the odometer ticks over and the amount of distance from the start of my trip it does as well. Finish my drive, I save that. That now goes into my log. So you'll see that 12-kilometre trip we just logged now is down the bottom. And if I go back to the handset app, there's actually a cheeky little push notification, which has just said, these are the details of your latest drive. You can go and review it. Is it accurate? Maybe change some things that you did that weren't captured, like did you test parking? Did you go on a gravel road? That sort of thing. And also, if you sort of go back into the handset app, you can go and view the logs and your last ones there. So that's basically what the app does. So where's the value? Basically, digital submission of this logbook, no longer a physical logbook. You can automatically detect when you meet the criteria and booking for your driving test, no manual, it's all accurate. Millennials are on their phones anyway. All millennials have a phone, so there's a pretty good chance they're going to have this app and be able to install it. We also have some other data and telematics for driving scores, so you could maybe get a drive score for every learner and see what kind of driver they are. We also have traffic data, so we can automatically capture the traffic information, and we can also pass on analytics of this stuff to law enforcement and Vic Roads to maybe one day see based on the kind of drivers they are, who's likely to infringe or lose their license and that sort of thing. So hope you enjoyed it. I'm team number 5 in telematics solo. Vote for me. Yay.
Judges, any questions? You guys are way too easy. All right, thank you. So we are now going to move on to our next entry. Team number 6, Team Mad. Again, this is number 6. I know I sound like a commercial every once in a while. Do we not have Team 6? Do we have it? No, we have Team 6. Alrighty. So bit.ly.com, SDL Team 6.
We're gonna need to plug in.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, other way. Thank you. And where's our plug? Yes.
And while we've got this time, team number 7 is on deck. If you need any help or want to be prepared, you can head up over to the side of the stage as well.
Yeah, the side's
Team 7. Let me grab a name for you. I barely remember my name. Team Crash Report. Team 7. You are on deck. If you'd like to prep over there, you are welcome to.
Make sure you get on.
I'm here.
He had to reboot his computer, so.
It's just building anticipation for you, don't worry. Judges, any questions so far?
Can we have some Windows booting, please?
Mr. Gates. Only when you need it.
Maybe later.
Only when you need it. Any other times things up. Okay.
Still no singing. No.
Should be now because the screen went, so it should be.
Good.
Wait. Still one second. Still on signal.
You could switch. There you go.
Oh, heck.
It's that one in the folder probably right there.
If I knew that, I would have picked up my desktop. Jeez.
I'm gonna unplug your computer.
And then I
I'm
go-
gonna unplug it. Thank you. Okay, now hopefully you'll see you can get to your file now.
Yeah,
I'll stay with you.
there you go. Wow.
No, you're not gonna see anything up there yet. I unplugged you. You concentrate on that.
All right. That I can do.
And we'll need the timer reset while we're doing this as well.
Mm. Desktop. There's that. And desktop. And there we go.
Mirror your desktop real quick.
And just in case anybody was wondering, this is why we didn't use the TDKs or any additional technology, because you never really know.
Sure don't. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna do something real quick. Hopefully that'll work. There we go. Come on.
You gotta bring it up on the side.
Desktop. I was looking for mirror. Does anybody see mirror up there?
Just extend one or two. Desktop.
Windows B. Okay. There we go. You're the man. Thank you.
Just can his screen do 1080
Yes.
duplicated? Because my input is set at 1080.
I think this computer, we're just gonna make it, jeez. All right, so let's get back down to your file. Is it down, if I do that, it should find it?
Wow.
Oh, you go ahead.
Did you know all of that makes your computer slower?
What's that? All the
All
files?
the stuff on your
Yeah.
desktop?
Yeah, pull this one out.
You know, I don't know if your PowerPoint's gonna come up, because it just said that was,
Trial expired.
No, that was a virus thing.
okay.
Let's do something real quick. Extend. And we're gonna go. Where's the? It's like perpetually.
So he had his PowerPoint up there, but then that other screen came on.
Can we skip?
Yeah, you want to skip to the next person? Okay, we're going to take your computer.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So we will wait until that is working and give them another shot. So that means that we need to go to a different URL. So please back out so we don't confuse ourselves judging. Let me rephrase that so we don't confuse Scott with the judging. And we will now go to Team Crash Report, team number 7. So please go to bit.ly.com, SDL Team 7. Team number 8 is in the wings. And we'll put team number 8, and then we'll see what we can do with team number 6. So Team Pilot is on deck. Team 8. You are Team 10. They put the...
No, I'm 7, I think.
Last. You are Team 7, yes.
All right.
I'm just talking to everybody with a microphone in my hand. Ignore me.
Okay. We're ready? Okay. Hello, everybody. I am sure everybody has run into some hazards on the road. Some drunk driver that can't keep a straight line, or a speedy driver that is zigzagging at 200 miles an hour, avoiding other drivers. Well, how would you like to be able to...
So far, it's been great, though.
Well, other hazards that we have on the road. We have some still 19th century trucks that are unable to keep their cargo on board, and they're spilling it all over. You have potatoes going on the road, and chickens, and tires, and all type of different things. They're an accident waiting to happen. But you can't do anything. You're driving. You can't write down their license number or anything like that. We have good news. All of those accidents, now we'll be able to report them. Look at the things that we can see on the road. Look at this guy over here. So can you see that? Can you see that fellow? Oh my God. Woo. Seriously? And he's not getting a fine. Where's the police when you need them? Really? Come on. Look at these other guys here. And there's somebody literally pulls you over it's like casts you off, and you force into another vehicle. And say, what do you do? The insurance is chasing you, but not the real guy that got away with it. Okay. Well, today more and more cars have video recorders, so you can actually record your entire trip. You have several cameras, in fact. How would you like to be able to report one of those accidents while you're driving with voice recognition? So Crash Report can do that. You can, with a very simple keyword-driven dialogue, speak to your app and tell him to send the 1 or 2 minutes of your last time on the road, and send it to the appropriate authorities so that they can take action. Maybe you see a little fire that is starting on the road, and if nobody reports it, because nobody's going to pull over to call the police, then in a couple of hours it's going to be 100,000 acres that are burned down. So if you're able to report any ashes that you find on the road, you would be able to possibly save lives. This is what we do, and this is Crash Report. So watch out, those naughty drivers. From now on, if you and Crash Report are around, there won't be any more hit-and-run drivers. Thank you.
Very good.
Any questions?
Judges? All right, thank you very much. So we will now move on to team number 8, Team Pilot. Team number 9, Tribal Scale, is on deck.
I have an HDMI connector right there, and an audio connector. audio is right over here. Where's your plug?
Here.
Thank you.
And can we get 5 minutes on the clock? I'm good at starting them at 4, but they might not like it.
Am I, oh, jeez.
F5.
No, I need to, no, that's not it. Let me do, project.
You got a hot mic in front of you just in case you want to start swearing at it.
Excellent.
I mean, that's how I get my computer to work.
Yeah.
Try hitting your Windows P. That helps too.
Hit Windows, window what?
Then P. Oh, try using your adapter. Maybe their adapters don't work very well.
No, this is my adapter.
Oh, okay. You're good.
There we go. Here, I'll start off here. Good afternoon. We're Team Pilot. My name is David Lair. I'm Vice President Advanced Engineering with the National Association of Broadcasters. Pilot is an innovation initiative of NAB, and we're here today to show you a new kind of radio receiver using SDL. With me are my programming team who work for OpenPath Products. We have Richard Smith and Phil White and Rafaela Cassandra. So they're the ones who stayed up all night to make this work. So we're all about making radio a better experience for listeners. Radio broadcasters want to deliver enhanced services, and the solution to that is something that's called hybrid radio. It's a radio service which combines over-the-air transmission with internet connectivity using mobile broadband. So broadcasters have developed the back-end support needed to provide internet information over the internet to hybrid radios. So what we did is we used SDL to implement a hybrid radio receiver solution. Our app, it's called Pilot Radio. There's the icon that shows up on the car display. And here's how it works. The app identifies the local radio stations based upon the location of the vehicle. It organizes those stations by genre, and then the listener selects the genre and then the station within the genre that they want to listen to. So for this particular genre, there were 3 stations available, and the logos you see there are coming in from the database that the broadcasters have created. And then you tune to the station, and this is the experience you see, which is a lot nicer than what you would see on a normal radio receiver. And what we're looking at here is we're looking at album art, which is synchronized with the audio. That could also be a station logo or maybe an ad, an image related to an advertisement. We're seeing station ID, song title, and artist. We're seeing we have a call button because we're hooked up to the phone through SDL. We can call the radio station to request a song or participate in a contest. We have a next button which takes the listener to the next station in the genre. And then, of course, a menu button which takes you back to the list of genres. And this is just shows you what that looks like. And now we have a couple of videos. Richard, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. Oh, you have your own. Oh, there you go. So I'll start the video. And let's see if we can hear. Okay, I'm not hearing any audio. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unplug the audio cord. And are we still playing?
Well, it's probably okay, David.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. So imagine, if you will, that there's audio playing in the background, because there is. This is completely real. This is completely live data. You might have heard us streaming a lot of audio during the hackathon. And as David said, the goal was we wanted for this hackathon to build a better car radio. And I think we've done that. So in this example, when we were recording from the SDL, we're listening on 95.5, and as the radio changes information, as you have different data, you're getting updated album art, you're getting updated song lyrics, all sorts of information around it, just as you would expect with a Spotify or with a Pandora or whatever. But as you saw at the end, maybe you can back up a little bit, David, we even wanted to make it better. So we provide all the things that modern consumers expect in a media application, all the rich pictures and information and the like, but we also provide the ability to interact with the actual broadcaster. So there's a call button. So if I'm driving in there with a voice or with a press of a key, I can call into the station and I can make my request. I can participate in some way. Likewise, there are mechanisms with ads that we were demonstrating where you could navigate to the nearest Dunkin' Donuts or wherever you like. So the key again is that we're trying to make a better radio experience. We can see in this particular video, which is actually running on the TDK, that we have the voice interface in there.
Please say a command.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
So I asked it on the TDK, using my voice, to go to the hip-hop genre, and then I went to the hip-hop genre, and then was able to find the stations that I wanted. And again, because we partnered with Xperi to provide all this back-end information, as data is being provided over the broadcast, I'm able to push it through.
Okay, so we're just about out of time. I have to point out, we couldn't actually tune the radio because presently the tuner is not available to SDL apps. So this is our plea to the car makers to let app developers access the tuner so we can develop great apps like the Pilot Radio. Team Pilot, vote for us. Thank you.
Judges, any questions? Joey, any statements?
Sure. So did you happen to look at any of the remote control API for SDL?
Only the voice. So that would be an excellent thing to look into. What we did do, though, which we didn't show in here, was we integrated a lot of the SDL capabilities. So we have the ability to look up song lyrics, but we didn't want to show it while you're distracting. So when you went from like 50 miles an hour down to 0 and your vehicle was stopped, then we had a scrollable window so you could see those Katy Perry lyrics. Likewise, we didn't have time to implement it, but we had the notion of you could not actually play your radio if you did not have your seatbelt buckled in as an incentive to make sure you buckled up. So there are lots of ways that we can integrate the car into the radio experience to make it safer as well as a little bit more engaging.
I think if you look in the remote control APIs, you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Awesome.
There's a radio tuner there.
What?
Yep. But it's in the SDK.
Yeah. Actually, we were looking at all the SDK things, and we're thrilled to death that it's in there, but yeah, we would love it if we had a TDK with it. But we're super happy that that's happening, so thank you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen,
Alrighty.
ladies.
Thank you.
So we now have team number 9, Tribal Scale. So go to bit.ly.com, SDL team 9. And team 10 is in the wings. And then we'll go back to team 6.
Does audio come out of HDMI, or does it come out? No, you're gonna need to have it come out of your headphone jack if you've got one. Sure. That's good. Cool. All right, you ready to go? Go ahead and get your slide deck up.
Okay, cool.
And a reset on the timer, please.
All right, does this work? All right, cool. Let's get started. Hey guys, we're Team Tribal Scale, and we spent the last 24 hours working with the STL emulator that you guys so kindly provided. First, I want to say thanks for everybody hosting this, all the sponsors and Ford. This has been really exciting. We've had a great time getting our hands dirty working on some of this stuff, and we're excited to share it with you. So this is our team. We've got Bernard, who's one of our web engineers, Brian, iOS engineer, Juan, who's our engineering architect, and myself, who worked on the product side of these things and as well as the data side. So problem statement. So when we started thinking about this hackathon and really what the issues are at hand, we started to think about not the problems that we have today, but the problems that are rapidly approaching in the next, let's say, 5 years. And I do mean 5 years. So this data is coming from Morgan Stanley, and it's just one of many data points. Autonomous vehicle adoption rates are increasing dramatically. Right now, it's somewhere hovering around 15% by some estimates, and by 2023, that's going to be close to almost 30%. 1 in every 3 cars will be at least level 3 autonomous. So that's really interesting, and some of you might be thinking, well, what was the problem with that? And I guess that's the right way to think about it. It's not really a problem, it's so much what's the opportunity there, because I do think there is an opportunity there. Because when we think about driving today, and if we want to solve today's problems, this is driving. But in reality, what's going to happen very soon, and is already happening, is this is driving. And this brings forth the concept of the passenger economy, right? Your drivers are going extinct. That's just the nature of it. And so what everyone is becoming now is a passenger. And this is a nice stock photo, and this looks futuristic and kind of like it might be 15 years from now. But that's really happening. That's happening right now. I mean, that's a production Model X. There's videos online of people driving this and reading books, right? So it's happening really quickly. And I think when we talk about a problem, or at least an underserved user base, the passenger economy certainly is underserved right now because it's still very nascent. And so with that in mind, we wanted to approach this hackathon and solve a problem. What if you were visiting a city, right? What if you were a tourist or visiting a city on vacation and you don't know the area? And you rented a vehicle, and at that time, in let's say 5, 6, 7 years, it had some autonomous features. So this is an autonomous vehicle. How do you get around the city if you're no longer driving? Now you've become a passive sort of participant in your journey. And so we wanted to bring back the sort of organic and engaging experiences of driving in autonomous reality. And so we created what we call City Pass. And City Pass is an AI-enabled platform that allows passengers in an autonomous vehicle interact with their environment as they're driving using a platform like SDL. Really at the heart of City Pass is AI, a lot of AI really. We look at machine vision, voice, telematics, and payments. And so all of these elements we were able to kind of put together more or less in a POC type format over the last 24 hours to kind of create this platform that allows a tourist or a visitor to get real-time information about their current location. And so the idea would be we can feed information from let's say an off-board video system and feed that into an ML object detection algorithm. So this is something that would be used for driving, right? We can detect things like trees, people, stuff like that. And we would use, again, anything that's already on the vehicle. But this doesn't help if you want to know, hey, what's to our left, what's to our right, things like this. And so what we did was what we created was what we call hyperlocal object detection. And so we took POIs that were within 600 feet of the GPS coordinate that was being provided by SDL, and then we took those POI titles, did a Google image search, scraped the first 100 images, and created object models for those, and we get basically this, which now we not only get to see people and trees, but now you can see there's Staples Center detected, LA Live, and things like that. And so in reality, what this looks like is this.
Hey, City Pass.
What can I help you with today?
What's near me?
Let me take a look.
And you can see we're feeding this video on the back end to the system, and SDL is...
Staples Center is a multi-purpose arena in downtown Los Angeles. The arena is home to the championship-winning Lakers, Kings, and Sparks. The Clippers also play here. Would you like to hear about upcoming games?
Yes, please.
The Lakers are playing the Warriors on September 12th at 7 p.m. Would you like to purchase 2 tickets?
Yes, please.
Okay, I sent your tickets to your mobile pass. You can use the QR code as your pass. Thank you for your purchase and enjoy.
So to reiterate, this is actually all working. We couldn't set up the demo here, obviously, for time reasons, but the VPA is working, image recognition is working, and that's getting sent to a WebSocket, which is uploading onto the iOS app. Obviously, the payment's not working, but, you know. So that's the idea. So that is City Pass. And again, thank you for having us. It was really a blast. And happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Judges? No? All right, team number 9. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to team number 10. So we are going to bit.ly.com, SDL team 10. This is whomentors.com Inc. And in case you were wondering, you did see his picture in the slides earlier because he is the defending hack champion.
No pressure.
All right. Good to go?
Oops. Sure. Okay, go ahead and start your presentation. Excuse me? Can I start this? Yeah. Okay.
And reset on the timer, please.
Is that your first slide?
Yes, it is. Okay. Hi. Normally I would say I'm your headliner. The more you drink, the better I sound, but we're not drinking today, so that was last night. So picture this. You and a bunch of car owners often use social media. You're tapping away and so on, and you want to plan a road trip with someone. And you're like, hey, who's heading to LA? Who's going to San Diego? And so on. And you're doing this inside the community, and the purpose of SDL is to take that experience and then bring it to the car. But then the question becomes, how do those drivers communicate with each other as they're on the road with 2 or 3 or more cars? It's not always convenient to whip out a cell phone. It's also illegal, trying to text to figure out what's happening, crossing through an intersection, person pulls over, and you get into a lot of problems that way. It's a challenge for the convoy to find itself in constant communication with each other, particularly in areas where the networks are struggling. So I created a concept called Road Trip. My name is Rommel Fox. I am the CEO of WhoMentors.com Incorporated, a nonprofit research organization, and I am defending from last year. So whoever beats me, bring your game on. So the intent here is to, again, focus on community. There are monthly users using all kinds of social media, but they're not connecting to the car. So I wanted to focus on that first. People are planning their events and so on, and then can we bring that to the car? And that can be something that can be also be a marketing angle. Hey, you need this car if you're going to be traveling on your road trips, particularly during the summer. So I wanted to also focus on iOS 12. I bought a device, an iOS 8 Plus, and also have an iPhone X10. New features are being released today. I wanted to take advantage of the chat, multi-peer connectivity, up to 1,000 feet. You can actually be able to communicate with different devices. Obviously, go beyond that, then there would be some issues, but the intent here is to have line-of-sight connection. There's vehicle-to-vehicle communication, but I wanted driver-to-driver communication. And each car will be equipped, obviously, with a app link system, whether it's a Toyota or Ford or whatever the partners will be in the future. But again, taking advantage of the APIs that are available on the device itself. With that in mind, I actually had the app working. Unfortunately, the ports are blocked by the conference here. So I did build a backend. I used the current opportunities with Firebase, Firestorm, and other backends so I can take advantage of push notifications and other connectivity. So unfortunately, again, when I was able to get it, I just have screenshots from the emulator, and this is how it would look, particularly on the dashboard. And then the person would get a status of how many persons are actually checked in, and then whether or not you're the leader or you're in the middle or you're the backend, so that you can know your positioning as well. The intent here is that, what if there's spontaneity? What if someone needs to go to the restroom, or maybe there's something happening? So the intent here is to keep in constant communication with one another, or there could be issues with the car breaking down and so on. And those of you who've ever done any kind of convoy driving together, it's not an easy thing to do. So therefore, Road Trip, it can be connected through the Sync app link through any device with installed in cars, and then they can have constant communication, provide vehicle updates, what's happening along the way at the touch of a button. And then the intent is after the trip is over, you can actually go through your photographs and so on. You can also get driver behavior, and that way you can sort of recreate that nostalgic feeling of that you guys all got together. And that's my app. Thank you. Oh, my logo. Questions?
Judges, any questions? No?
Thank you very much.
Ramel's giving people 2 minutes back even. Thank you very much. And I believe we have team number 6 ready this time now. Everything's fixed. We're good to go? Alrighty. So this is our final team, team number 6. We have one more. We did have one other entry. Thanks. All right, we will do that. So team 11 is on deck. We did have a late entry. Okay. That's awesome.
Hello. Ready now?
I'm ready whenever you're ready. Well, let's reset the clock for you, unless you only want a minute.
Ooh.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, team 6.
Hello. Thank you for your patience. I'm Sean Randall, and my team is called MAD. And what MAD stands for is Make a Decision. Basically, we live in a world of data claustrophobia. We all have it as a problem. We're just inundated with data, and we're swallowing ourselves in data. Either we're taking an hour in emails, cleaning them up, answering them. We're mapping our trip on Google or whoever. We got a to-do list over here that we're doing. I don't care if it's Evernote or whoever. Then we got a phone call probably coming. But at the end of the day, if your day is like mine, you might wake up and it's all happy and peachy, and then your day starts to change because somebody cancels, somebody's running late, there's traffic, and you have to make a decision. You got to find the best choice during that day to get some value out of that day. You just can't complain and say, well, you know, somebody's late, so just give up and throw your hands up. You got to finish the day. So what we did was let me go here. What we have is solved is data claustrophobia. What we're doing is we're taking the 3 valuable processes that about 80% of the world is using: maps, to-do list, and a phone, some kind of verbal communications, and we're tying that into the back end through the back end. We're using voice, and when you're driving, you get voice. Say, for instance, I'm going to work, Waze comes up and tells me there's an accident, but I got a 9 o'clock webinar coming up, and it's telling me, my app is telling me I'm not going to make it to that office by 9 o'clock and actually sit there. So I might want to call in, or I might want to take that and pull over and sit on the side of the road and take it, or rearrange things. But if I arrange one thing, I'm going to have to change something else. So what the app is attempting to do is to organize your calendar, your map, and any notes that you have that you generally use. These are things that you already use. We're not asking you to use anything else. We're just saying integrate all this through the cloud. And then while you're driving, you get voice. If you pull over, then you will get, these are the 3 things generally people have: maps, to-do lists, and of course the start position. What we did was we took the notes, we took a map, and we took, well, these are quotes, they were supposed to be notes. And we go in there and we call it MD, which is make a decision. The 3D map will form when you pull over. What we're trying to do there is show that your destination is just not a flat plane. And even though Google has a photo, we found that if you make the shape of the map kind of contour to what it is you're going, like if that was Coca-Cola, you would get a bottle. Then you would know that's where you're going anywhere, so they would give you a more visual cue. The decision tree is what the process that we go through with your map. If you're late, if you're running late, your notes, if you have to be somewhere at 9, such as you got to pick your kids up. You can't pick your kids up late. You come late, you got the people, the state or the city in there saying your kids are late. That to-do list is at 4 o'clock, but you're at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you know you've got a few meetings, you know that traffic's out there, you need help. And that's what make a decision is. It's just an assistant to help you make a best fit during your day, or rearranging things that are not glued. When you started and you woke up, everything was happy. Now things are happening in the real world, and you're faced with, I got decisions, I got to make this, I got to do that. But if you had a voice talking to you, like from Siri or Alexa, or even Google, that would assist you, just like your significant other does when you guys are driving and you're lost and they're telling you, you should have made a left. You're already kind of used to it. It's the same thing in a sense here. It's just a computer. You can turn this one off. The benefits of MAD is when it's driving, it's non-distracting. There's not going to be any map or anything to pop up to you. Just get a voice. Whether it's Siri, you're already used to her, or Alexa, whichever one you're used to, it fits. We have an API that we're working with that works with all of them. It helps you design a new plan during your day. Adjust your plan. I'm sure we all have gone to somewhere and we've had to adjust meetings in the morning. Somebody's late, somebody has to rearrange the next day, and you've got to do something else. And you need an assistant. I mean, you got other decisions to make too, to rearrange the bits and pieces. And if you have some kind of an assistant that can just offer, I mean, it's not going to figure out everything, but just an offer. Sometimes your head is just not clear because you're somewhere else. It's based on a map, calendar, and the time to your next move. And that's what MAD is. Make a decision.
I gotta ask, judges, any questions? I didn't think so. You guys are so nice. All right, we do have one late entry team. Love to have additional entries. That's awesome that everybody's excited. Having 11 teams is 5 more than we had last year. Very cool. So please go to bit.ly.com, SDL Team 11.
Could you get me to a desktop?
Desktop?
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you in an emulator right now?
This is an emulator.
Oh.
I have. It's running the emulator.
Do me a favor. Could you just get me to the desktop real quick? Can you minimize that? Okay, great. Thank you. It's gonna get up there. Go ahead.
So I can show my emulator, the emulator?
Yeah, go ahead. You can maximize that now.
Maximize?
Mm-hmm.
How do I do that?
Over here, I believe.
Oh. Got it. I want to show the emulator, though, if I can.
Oh,
good.
That wasn't it.
It's a good start, but it's not there anymore? Yeah, this is it. Is there a way to maximize that, or no?
I don't know. This program.
There's no way to maximize it? Oh, okay. That's fine.
Okay.
That'll work. That's cool.
Go ahead. After several polished applications, I thought I would give you a break and have a less polished project. Uber PDA is an application for drivers and passengers. It's rather conceptual at this point. This is an app for an Uber car ride. It can be utilized for drivers and passengers during travel to make an experience better for driver and passenger. I implemented image icons as well as basic Objective-C text strings. Worked with the Starter iOS project from the SDL GitHub site. This is also known as the Hello World app. As a C# Visual Studio developer, this did present a bit of a challenge. Last night, the 4 developers were extremely helpful with the setup. This includes VirtualBox VM, Sync 3, emulator, which you see up there, Objective-C modules, and basic Xcode development environment navigation. As you can see, basic questions, notifications include, for a driver, this is seatbelt, fasten notification, and there's endless possibilities here as far as notifications for the driver. For the passenger, I have questions such as, is temperature okay? Are there any music preferences? As well as an additional feature, which is a chat button, and this is definitely part of the template in the starter project. So this is really more for the passenger than the driver, but I give the passenger an option to state if they have a preference as far as chatting. As I understand it, some Uber drivers are very chatty and others are not so chatty, so, and just like passengers. So this gives a preference more for the passenger though. It's more about passenger comfort. And that's basically it. I can take questions.
Judges, any questions? Do you want to chat with them?
Go ahead.
Awesome, thank you very much. Team 11. All right, that is all of our teams, and I would like to personally thank all of our developers who showed up, and I would like to have a round of applause, A, for their innovation, and B, you know, it's sometimes nerve-wracking to jump up on stage and talk in front of a crowd. So how about a round of applause for all of our entries today?